Hello humans, today I want to talk about this guy right here. This is something new from BIC. BIC makes everything, but in this particular instance what we're talking about is this BIC EZ Load reloadable extended lighter. So these are kind of a neat idea. I'm going to pop this open, but the idea here is that you have a sort of shell that you can use to have like a full extended lighter for the instances where you need one, but it also carries a smaller regular sized BIC lighter. It's in that well, it's not clamshell, but it's in that like half awful plastic packaging everybody hates. I should probably read this. Keep away from children. Do not set it on fire near your face or clothes. Do not use to light cigarettes, cigars, or pipes. Not entirely sure why that's a thing. Maybe just because it's so long. Do not expose to heat. Do not expose to direct sunlight. Do not puncture or put in fire. Do not keep lit for more than 30 seconds. That's interesting. Okay. Maybe hot after use. Recycled plastic, made in France. This one is made in France, right? Oh no, it's made in China. Makes sense. BIC itself, I believe, is actually a French company, which is why I thought it was interesting. BIC.com. Yeah, okay, cool. This sucks. Wouldn't be bad if it was straight cardboard, but the plastic front kind of makes it awful. Alright. More additional warnings. Extremely flammable contents under pressure. Blah, 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 blah. So on. Recommended for lighting cigarettes. Yada, yada. They're expecting this shell to last for 10 BIC Maxi or Max 1? I'm not entirely sure which one it's supposed to be. Lighters, so that would be this guy right here. Alright. Keep away from children, blah, 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 standard BIC warnings. I don't actually know, size-wise this feels the same as a regular BIC, but I guess somehow it is not. I'm guessing it goes in like this. I'm assuming so, because that puts the gas ignition in line. So that goes there. End cap goes on. Haha! Very cool. So the thing that I think is particularly neat about this is kind of twofold. First thing first, the shell is refillable. They say should last 10 BIC Maxi lighters. Okay, I'm not entirely sure how much I would trust that, but it is, you know, reusable for an extended period of time, which is nice. The plastic components all feel fairly okay. Like, they're not low quality plastics. They're about on par with the rest of the plastics that BIC likes to use. This extended section is, of course, metal. It operates exactly like you would expect. It doesn't have a safety, which is kind of neat. Most of these extended lighters tend to have a safety to them, but this one here does not. Not entirely sure what I think about that. And then I can press on this, and I have a functioning BIC again. So the main sort of space where I see this being useful is in camping, that sort of thing. And also if you are worried about having one of these extended lighters around children, you can just pull the BIC out and keep it on your person separately. Which definitely does hold some value. I can understand why people would want this. I'm not as sold on the idea conceptually, because here's the thing. I'd rather just have a refillable extended lighter like this and a refillable personal lighter like this. That being said, If you are shooting for absolute minimalism, or you're in an environment where you need both of these fairly regularly, having both just separated is kind of handy, and I can't criticize that. Like, it is actually very useful to have different types of lighters at times, and having them in the same package does make it easier to pack, gives you a smaller overall profile, which I definitely understand the value of. BIC does have those extended easy light lighters. To be fair, I think that you get more versatility with a proper extended reach lighter and a small pocket lighter. I think that it just gives you a lot more versatility. And in terms of storage, you can just stick it in. Boom, it's in there. It should be good. There we are. How does this actually work? I'm not going to pull it apart, but what I'm assuming there is... Okay, so there's, we'll see if you can see in there. There's a little hose that goes over the end of your butane nozzle. And then when you press down on the trigger, what you're actually doing is pressing down on the firing mechanism of the BIC itself. Right? Which, if you've ever performed that trick where you spray some butane into your hand and then flick it and create a little fireball, you're basically doing that, but simultaneously, as you push this down, there's a little spark igniter. You can hear it. That's what's making that clicking sound is the spark igniter, which is actually giving you flame at the end. Oh, not very water or wind resistant though. That's actually less wind resistant than the regular BIC extended lighters, which is kind of neat. Yeah, it fills the hand nicely. It is definitely comfortable to use, and the insert, I mean, it's not a standard BIC, it's the BIC Maxi, which is kind of a thing I would prefer personally if it was just a standard BIC, because you find those literally everywhere, but there's nothing wrong with the BIC Maxis either. Yeah, I think this is kind of neat. I can definitely see an appeal for this. So, I mean, yeah, it's not super complicated. There's not a ton to say about it, but it is kind of cool. It will start fires as you need, and especially in a packing sort of situation or camping, something where space matters, but you still need the versatility of having a full extended lighter, there's value in this. So I definitely think that they are worth, at the very least, checking out and considering if they are useful to you. This is probably just going to hang out in my collection space, to be perfectly honest. It's not something that I think I will see much use out of. But it is a clever solution to the question of maximum versatility, minimum space, which I do appreciate. It feels like it's pretty well made. There's no real disassembly that you can do, which means you can't really repair it. But it's kind of a given with BIC products. They are very much disposable. The wind resistance aspect of this shroud isn't really being put into effect near as I can tell, but again, it's a BIC. You kind of expect that. So yeah, I mean... I forget what I paid. I think it was like 11 bucks or whatever, but it seems decent. It's comfortable in the hand. It ignites and is easy. As I say that, it stops working. It's easy enough to use, and I mean, it takes a BIC lighter. Admittedly, it's not a regular BIC lighter, but it takes a BIC lighter as a fuel cartridge, which is very useful and fairly clever. So I definitely do think that this has a space. Stay safe and have fun out there. Peace.